All right, good. So, are you okay this time, Ian?
Yes. I think it was just an audio corruption when I logged in. Sorted itself out.
Good. And Colin, are you well?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
And how's your other half?
Oh, she's up early today, so she's washed, dressed, and having a coffee out the way, so I shouldn't have to disappear too much. But we both enjoyed Saturday's game, especially the last 10 minutes.
Yes, yes.
Cracker, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was a good game anyway. But
Yeah, yeah. Well, we never deserved to lose, but
no,
you never quite can see far enough up the other end, the way end, to see what's really going on. And
yeah.
see,
Dave?
Norwood missed it, the blooming tackle. Well, him and what you call it with their goal, didn't they? But
Yeah.
We would do is useless.
Dave Redfern.
Yes, sir.
That puppy sounds a bit like the Hound of the Baskervilles.
He's got a right bark. Got a right bark on him.
He's attracting attention from two young lads round here.
So it's
We hear dog.
Did anyone see that piece of news about dogs now being able to watch the television?
They always have. My two, I kid you not, Keith, they get excited when they see other dogs on the TV. They now know the music to adverts that are likely to have a dog in. So as soon as they hear the music, they're there. Amazing.
yeah. Our cat sits and watches. He jumps up on the sideboard and sits there and watches, the TV screen from about a foot away.
Is it a testament to the intelligence of the animals, or is it an indication of the state that TV's got to?
As ever, Brian, I'm afraid it's a reflection on the owner. Mind you, I've stopped cocking my leg at lampposts now. So. Sniffing other backsides. No one's never my cup of tea, anyway. And I nearly broke my neck trying to lick my butt. Never mind.
Yeah. Terrible.
Are we recording? Oh yes, we are.
We are recording. Yes.
We're
Good
recording.
morning, everybody.
Good
morning.
Good to see
morning,
you
Kate.
all. Let's hope the conversation is better than the weather at the moment, because
Yeah.
where some of you are, but it's a bit. I think the word is dank in Sheffield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, shall we? John's not with us today. I think he's got an appointment to have a checkup or some.
Yes, he
Of
has.
some description, and so therefore, any news of the group? Has anyone got any news of any of the other members of the group that they've spoken to at all? No.
Keith is as mad as ever. I know that.
Yeah, all right. Of course he is. Yes.
Total barn pop. Yeah.
Yeah. Dave the Beard. How's Stephen?
It's been a slight bit of movement in his left arm, in his right arm and in his right leg. And his eyes were open all yesterday morning, and they opened a couple of times while I was at the hospital yesterday.
Yeah, excuse me.
Good. Well, that's encouraging, isn't it?
Well,
It's going to be a long haul,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's a better sign, thank you, yeah.
Good. Well, in the absence of our chairman, who's legged it
I believe so.
again, Would you like to start with sports news of the week? News of the week.
Don't know.
Right, and I'll start
if
with
you want to
football.
invite
And
about
what surely will be the goal of the
half
season
an hour,
scored by Mo
half
Salah
past 11
to
showing
Liverpool during their 5-0 thrashing of Watford at Vicarage Road. Elsewhere, Leicester gave Man U a beating by 4-2, putting further
I
pressure
think
on
the
Ollie.
meeting. I think the meeting at the Drake
Aston
House.
Villa 2-up against Wolves and managed to concede 3 goals in the last 10 minutes.
Marvellous.
All right. All right, Barbara.
Chelsea won at Brentford, staying a point clear of Liverpool. And the win was thanks mainly to an outstanding display of goalkeeping by Edouard Mendy.
Yeah.
Man
Dave?
City beat Burnley,
Dave,
Southampton beat Dirty, West Ham beat Everton, and Spurs beat Newcastle in Steve Bruce's 1000th game as a manager, and likely last in charge of Newcastle? Question mark.
Dave,
Brighton, Brighton.
Dave, you mentioned at the beginning the likely goal of the season, Mo Salah's goal. I actually am troubled with that because I thought the better goal on in that game was his outside of the foot pass to Mane
Money.
and straight in. That was a classic goal.
It was.
It was a great goal.
Mm.
Is it-
Normally, I would have said that maybe goal of the season. I just thought that close control and
Well, he's on a roll, isn't he? He's done it 2 weeks running now, and there are times what they don't tell you is, and Peter will back this up. Last season, he did a lot of that, and he just went down a blind alley, like a rabbit down a hole. But now it's coming off. It's everybody's. Oh, he's the best thing since Ronaldo or Messi or whatever. A load of bollocks. That goal from Salah, one step outside of the foot to Mane, straight in the goal. That reminded me of a fabulous goal I saw, I think, in the third of 3 Liverpool Notts Forest games in a week, one of which was in a cup playoff. And the young Clough was playing on the Notts Forest side, where you literally had goalkeeper to centre back or half back or whatever, straight to rush, straight in the net. 110 yards covered in 2 passes.
Yeah.
That's football to me.
Enough for Liverpool.
No, we're talking.
Can't get enough of Liverpool. I'm
We're
sorry,
talking
Keith.
football. Carry on.
do-
Peter. You
You do need to take into account who they were playing.
Oh yeah, but they weren't playing them in the other 6 away games where they have scored 3 goals.
No.
Tell him, Pete. You tell him, mate. Don't hold back.
Money, money, money.
Anyway, to bring some
Unlimited
order,
riches.
to bring a piece of order back to this. Did anyone notice on if they were watching the Newcastle Spurs game? I was either before the game or on the highlights. They showed you some footage of Steve Bruce's first game as a manager,
Yeah,
at Bramall Lane,
yeah. Mhm.
and I believe it was a victory.
Yeah.
But
2-1, I think it was, wasn't it?
yeah, so I just wondered if anybody else had seen it. So
he should have stuck it up, shouldn't he?
Unfortunately, I saw most of the rest of the games he was in charge of as well, Keith. Wow.
I mean,
Was ever a man disinterested in a job?
well, Chris, there was the problems. It was the board that was the big problem. It was Mike McDonald
I understand that, Keith. I
and
understand.
Charles Green that were the problems. But
It's not the first.
Anyway.
It's not
The best
first
thing he ever
time-
did was when he took us off against Arsenal. That took guts, and I admired him for that.
yeah,
The cheating Arsenal.
It's not the first time
Right.
it's happened, though. Friction between the board and the manager. I mean, Peter will know Gillette and co saw Rafa Benitez off. Now, Benitez is a good manager, but there are plenty of other managers who've fallen foul of either a personality or a board who actually don't know much about football, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about boards getting it wrong, our board once interviewed 2 people for our manager's job, and they chose Ken Furphy. Any clues as to who the other one was?
Ferguson.
No.
Clough.
Yeah.
Clough. Brian Clough.
Well, they made the right decision then, didn't they?
Yeah, we went well with Furphy then, didn't we?
Yeah. And Brian Clough once told one of my friends that Dick Wright, who was United's chairman at the time, cost him 2 jobs. He said, I wanted the Sheffield United job and he wanted the England job. And at the time, Dick Wright was in charge of the international section of the Football Association, and he wanted.
Brian Clough was once within hours of becoming Coventry manager when Noel Campbell went, and he was literally just about to sign the contract, but decided in the end not to. And so that was a great sadness.
He used to bring in the team to my ex-wife's salon for haircuts on the odd Saturday morning, and he'd sit them all down. It was like school kids, and he just one by one they would come to the chair and he says, "I want square neck on that." You know, done short back and sides, right off. Next one, and he dragoon them into. Janet was just there cutting. Yes, Mr. Clough. No, Mr. Clough. 3 back, Mr. Clough. In Doncaster.
Do you think that were part of that was to? It was almost like the army, where you will do what I say at all times, and you'll not even consider an alternative. You'll do what I say.
It's an interesting point, Keith, that I majored on. I was asked to give a presentation on management and leadership. And in short, management was doing things right and leadership was doing the right things. And I said, if you look at good managers that seem to get a reputation, they're very oppressive. They suppress people to a lowest common denominator so they can be relied upon to reach a common standard. And when you're dealing with aircraft and what have you, with ejector seats going through the roof and what have you, you need to be able to rely on people. So a lot of people think good leadership is actually, in fact, very strong and oppressive management. Leadership, in my view, is saying, no, I've got talent in a number of people. I'm going to let them rise to their particular level of talent. And the others have to catch up. That's a higher risk strategy, but is, in my view, true leadership.
It's about.
Go ahead.
It's about delegation, isn't it, Ian? It's about trusting in the people you've employed and leaving them to get on to meet those expectations. Yeah.
Well, I had to stand up with an OC Engwing that I worked for. He said, "The trouble with you, you're a boffin." I said, "No." I said, "The trouble with you is you're a very strong manager. I think you are not trusting of your talent to make the judgment that he'll do all right. Whereas I take the risk. And sometimes I get it wrong, and then the whole world is against you. But if you want to get through life safely, you can suppress people and their talent to a level that you can rely on as a consistent. That's what Weinstock did with the GEC companies. And in the end, if they didn't measure up, he just got rid of the company. Whereas other more ambitious companies that went to the high end of the market had a different business model, Sorry, I'm boring you. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, you are, yeah.
when you want to reach my intellectual level, just let me know.
Yeah. Well, if you want to talk about managers in that way, just think about my situation that I had. I had a manager that just burst into song every 5 minutes. I mean, It was John.
John.
That's positive reinforcement. That's a technique that's well known in management.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's get back to Dave's news of the week.
Norwich and Brighton played out a 0-0 draw, like last night, an
Need to know all the
equaliser from Lacazette in the last seconds of Arsenal's game against Crystal Palace saw the match end 2-2. In the Championship, of course, it starts with Jonathan's team.
Yes.
Down at half time, pulled it back in the second to draw 2-2, leaving them in fourth position. West Brom beat Birmingham on Friday night to go top, but dropped to second following Bournemouth's win at Bristol City, which kept them 3 points clear. Fulham bounced back to beat QPR 4-1 and move into third place. In the First Division, there were wins for the top four: Plymouth, Wycombe, Wigan and Sunderland. Tuesday last week saw another round of World Cup European qualifiers, with England curing insomnia with a 1-1 draw against Hungary at Wembley.
It
Just
was
about more
shocking.
embarrassing were Scotland, who managed to get the winner in the 86th minute in their 1-0 win over the mighty Faroe Islands.
Yeah. Well, but Dave, hang on. Let's give Scotland a bit of respect here, because I don't know if anyone else saw their other game against
Israel.
Yeah,
Israel.
great
The
result.
second half of that game was as good an international game as I've seen in a long, long time, where they really went for it, and Israel played quite well as well. It was a great game, international level. It showed the sort of commitment that you don't often see at international level. As regards England, to me, England looked like United at the start of the season. Pedestrian, going backwards, sideways, anywhere but forward. Anyway, sorry, my rant's over now. Today.
Thank God for that.
Killed John. Wales
Yes.
went on to win in Estonia 1-0,
Nice one, Doug.
while Northern Ireland chances of finishing second in their group disappeared after a 2-1 defeat in Bulgaria, despite taking the lead in the first half. Now, England, well, the English FA and Irish were looking at putting in a joint bid to land the 2030 World Cup. It looks as though it's going to be doomed to failure after the events at the Euro final. And they're going to back, UEFA are backing a joint Spain-Portugal bid, apparently. The Euros 2028 could be the sweetener to stop England and Ireland going forward for 2030. And on that note, about the Wembley fiasco against Italy, England have been banned for 2 matches crowd-wise, with 1 suspended, and also fined €100,000.
And they've not finished investigating the Hungary game yet.
No.
So you could find out that there's another one, that suspended one could come into play.
Rugby Union. In the Gallagher English Premiership, there were wins for Sale over second placed Harlequins, Newcastle Falcons, Exeter Chiefs at Wasps, despite being 20-15 down at half time. Exeter Chiefs came out on top in the second half to win by 27 points to 23. Saracens crushed Bath by 71 points to 17 at Bath to go third in the table, leaving Bath at the bottom. London Irish were involved in a thrilling draw at home to Gloucester, losing 14-6 at half time. Gloucester fought back, with the game ending all square, 25 points each. The unbeaten league leaders Leicester had an easy win at Worcester by 48 points to 3, giving them a 7-point lead at the top. Cricket, and I'll start with the news that I'm sure Chris will appreciate. The county championship will return to the 2 divisions format, with 10 teams competing in Division 1 and 8 teams in Division 2, with 2 up and 2 down. They kicked out.
I now support a 2nd division team in Nottinghamshire who have just had their best season probably in the last 5.
Yeah.
Went 30 games without winning. And now, because of a league reorganisation, find themselves back in the 2nd division. If you wrote this down in a book and called it fiction, you would throw it away. So I really look forward to the might of Derbyshire and Leicestershire and the star-studded teams that they're going to bring to Trent Bridge. I can't wait to buy my expensive season ticket.
Well, at least
But I'm not upset. I don't want to give the impression that in any way the decisions in a boardroom, not on the field of play, have created another set of issues.
Well, in the last game of the season, Nottinghamshire could have won the championship.
Nottinghamshire were probably the best team in the league on what I saw, but they lost it because they lost to Warwickshire, so that's fair enough. But they were a very, very good, talented team, and remains to be seen now whether they can keep that team together, income streams being what they are.
Yeah.
But surely you must organise a year based on what's happened with current teams and current players, not what happened in 2019, which is what the decisions are based upon. Anyway, I'll shut up because I'm fed up of my own voice.
Well, Chris, no, we're not, because you make a lot of sense, but you put your finger on it. The decisions are made in the boardroom. And why is it called the boardroom? It's because they play board games. You know, they just roll dice. You know, that's how they make the decisions.
Yeah.
You must make decisions on what's happened currently. And you can't arbitrarily go back 4 years or 3 years. You can't. It's ridiculous.
We could set up a new party, couldn't we? The Sporting Liberation Front. We could
play ourselves.
Marching down the M25, blocking traffic. Bring back our sport.
I'm thinking of gluing myself to the Ratcliffe Road end of the ground. I bet I get arrested pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris.
Anyway, yes. Hello,
Chris,
Jonathan.
Good morning. I'm
Good
fascinated.
morning.
What is that shirt behind your head? I can't read it.
Behind my head?
Yeah, on the chair. Oh, it's a cricket one, isn't it? On the chair.
Oh, sorry. Yes, it was in case I got cold. It's a World Cup. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I see, yeah.
It's a World Cup.
I thought it was a Sheffield United
no.
plain shirt or something.
No.
Not blue and white, I hope.
No, exactly. But
I was fascinated to receive a very good text. It was an email from Bramall Lane to say, you know, we've now got the new replica shirts from 1989, the fastest selling shirt in the country in that year, the luminous yellow, and it's now available and it's in the shop as well. And so I went on to have a look, and it's out of stock.
yes, that's the trouble, isn't it? Yeah.
It's out of stock. So I'm particularly bothered with that one. I'll keep my original.
This week, the Coventry Telegraph ran a piece about a supporter who's got 94 shirts. He's collected all the shirts going back to 1992, and I thought he spent £8,000 on those shirts. And I thought, goodness me, what a waste of money.
Could have bought a player for that.
It could have got yours, Jonathan, for half that sum.
That's right. The best shirt we ever had was a brown one, which really did look like shit. It was wonderful. And you know, they used to produce a tie. They used to always produce a tie, and I went to some function wearing this brown tie recently. The commercial director nearly sort of got on his knees and said, how much will you sell that to me for? Because he just wanted that awful tie.
Fantastic, Jonathan.
Really,
You
was
keep,
it a strip.
yeah, keep that for posterity. I would keep that. Yeah, glass case.
Yeah.
How long have you been lap dancing then, Jonathan? If these people are paying you to take your clothes.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. Oh, come on. Back to Dave's news of the week.
World Cups, the T20 World Cup has started. The matches being played in Groups A and B. There were wins in Group A for Ireland over Netherlands by 7 wickets, and by the same margin for Sri Lanka over Namibia. In Group B, Scotland beat Bangladesh in an exciting finish. Bangladesh scoring 17 in the final over to fall just 6 runs short of victory. In the other game in the group, Oman beat Papua New Guinea by 10 wickets, reaching 131 in just 13.4 overs.
England start next week, don't they, Dave?
I think they do, yeah. There's a few group matches to take place, and then...
Yeah.
Is this beach cricket?
French cricket.
Yeah. Might as well be.
Yeah.
It ain't cricket.
No.
No, it's not.
Well, it's brilliant. Brilliant competition.
I think you're right.
Brilliant.
It's cricket, but not as you know it.
As you know it, yes.
Jim.
Right.
It goes back a long way, and it's a very good tournament.
And it's growing.
Yeah, all right. We'll let the controversy lie there.
It's other imposter competitions that cause the problem.
Yeah.
You know, Chris,
Tell
I
us,
went
tell us about it, Chris. Come on.
No. No.
You know, Chris, I went to see the chief executive. I went to see the chief executive at MCC a few years ago, and I was complaining about something. We got round to talking about T20 for some reason, and he said to me, "Well, you know, it's not cricket anyway." And I said, "It's a bit of a risk. I could be coming in here. You don't know me with a tape recorder, and that wouldn't sound very good."
Wow! He actually said that. Well,
He said
they don't
Not
think
good
that.
cricket.
They don't think that now with the crowds that they're dragging.
No, that's right.
No. Anyway.
Are you going to get on with this, Dave? For goodness sake.
Speedway. In the Premiership playoff final first leg, Bellevue took a slender lead into the second leg, beating Peterborough by 46 points to 44. In the second leg at Peterborough, though, Bellevue, despite being only 6 points behind after 9 heats, went on to lose by 12 points, with Peterborough 51 points to Bellevue's 39, giving Peterborough an aggregate win by 95 to 85, and so become Premiership champions. Racing, there were 2 big races.
Well done, Peterborough. Well done, Peterborough. And Colin, that's your neck of the woods, isn't it,
It
Colin?
is, yeah. Actually, our local butcher sponsors, in a small way, actually. So we have a bit of banter about that from each time I go in. But
Why are they called the Peterborough pork chops?
no, I did take the commentators a pork pie, and apparently it disappeared very quickly.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Go on, Dave.
Racing, there were 2 big races at Ascot on Saturday. In the Group 1 Queen Elizabeth II Stakes, Bayard, unbeaten in the previous 5 races, of which only one was a Group 1 race, beating the favourite Palace Pier with 6 group wins to his record by a neck.
Great race.
Group 1
Great race.
Champion Stakes, 12-to-1 shot Seedley Way, 5th in the Arc, won by 3/4 of a length from Dubai Honor, with the favourite Mishrif and second favourite Adiyar not finishing in the first 3.
It was quite a turn up, quite a shock, that Ascot meeting. It was also the decider for the flat jockey of the season. Not a flat jockey. I mean, the flat. An punctuation.
All right, go on, Dave.
Boxing. Yeah. Chris Eubank Jr. launched his comeback as a middleweight with a victory over his German opponent, who failed to emerge for the 6th round after reportedly suffering broken ribs. On the same bill, Hughie Fury, cousin of Tyson, also forced a corner retirement at the end of the 5th against Christian Hammer, who had a bicep injury. Savannah Marshall retained her WBO middleweight belt by stopping her Zambian challenger in 2 rounds. The Hartlepool fighter is unbeaten in her pro career and was making her first defense. Marshall is now set for a big fight against American Clarissa Shields. Cycling, Ethan Hayter took the men's time trial title over a hilly 44.7 kilometres at the British National Road Championships. Anna Henderson won the women's time trial title. Golf, Rory McIlroy has joined a select band of players with 20 PGA victories with a 1-stroke win in the CJ Cup in Las Vegas and receiving £1.3 million prize money. Very nice. Starting the day 2 shots behind leader Ricky Fowler, McIlroy carded a 6 under 66 to end on 25 under for his second victory of 2021. England's 27-year-old Matt Fitzpatrick, with a final round of 69, won the Andalusia Masters by 3 strokes from fellow Englishman Laurie Canter. It was the 7th victory of his career. I said he was 27. Who are the only other Englishmen to have won that many titles by a younger age?
Aldo.
Aldo.
Yep.
Jacqueline.
Oh, sorry, Faldo. Yeah, beg your pardon.
Jacqueline.
No.
Justin Rose.
No.
Oosterhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more. He's not gone east. He went the other way.
Colin, what's his name?
Montgomery.
He's Scottish, isn't he?
Aye.
All right, aye, of course he is.
British when he won.
Yeah.
Well, he's not gone east. He's gone the other way.
Lee Westwood.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. Just before you move on, Dave, Colin sent me a picture, and I'll hold. It's the Speedway Cup.
All right. Yeah, Peterborough won the other night. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that the one we won for the first time?
Just signed the one for about 12 years, I think it is, something like that.
I thought there was a World Cup that in Speedway we'd won for the first time or something.
That was a pairs competition, wasn't it? Last weekend.
We've had a good weekend for sport, haven't we?
Yep.
Internationally.
Cameron Norrie.
Yeah.
Waiting for tennis.
And the doubles guy, English.
Joe something or other.
Yeah, well-known guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, go on, Dave.
And
We-
tennis, Cameron Norrie, set to become the new British #1, won the Indian Wells Masters title after beating Nicholas Basil Deal.
Nicholas the Russian.
Prize money of 880,000. Norrie lost the first set 6-3, but went on to win the next two sets 6-4 and 6-1 against his 36th ranked opponents. Saying that after that victory, he's set to move into the top 20, world top 20 now.
Yeah.
The dog's
He's,
not very impressed by any of that.
On current form, Dave, just on this year's form, he's world 12. That's how high he's risen. He's won something like 47 games this year.
He's had a real good year, yeah.
Oh, tremendous. A great improvement. Fantastic.
But while
Worth
we're on
watching.
Norrie, the next question is, which country did Norrie originally represent before deciding to represent Great Britain?
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah.
Why was that?
Because
They
that's
moved
where he's
out
from.
when he was 3, apparently.
Yeah, he's from New Zealand. His parents are from somewhere else. The only connection he's got with England is he happens to live there now.
Right.
He's lived there since he was 3, but
Yeah.
Born in New.
Yeah. So now our British #1 man and British #1 woman really aren't British.
Yeah.
That's a bit harsh.
Been there before.
Have you never heard of the Empire?
Harsh. Half the English cricket team wouldn't have been cricketers if you'd applied that logic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
We don't want this defeatist talk. Move on.
Go on then, Dave.
I'll just do this one because we're into the last minute. F1 have confirmed a record 23 race schedule for 2022 with a season opener in Bahrain and a first race in Miami. Chinese Grand Prix has been stopped due to COVID and has been replaced by Imola. And I'll leave it there because we've got less than a
A
minute.
disease.
All right. Have you to finish
I've
with
had a jab for
afterwards, Dave? Yeah. Imola, yeah. We'll see you all in 5 minutes, chaps.
Okay.
Okay.
See you there.